Listen here, girl. I know you think it's a game, but it is absolutely not. Okay, this is the energy supplement from Just Move Supplements. That's right. It's damn near all gone, girl, and that's because I had to get that energy up so I can complete the workout, so I can give y'all this body, this transformation, get into it. Okay, and I'm done working out now, so that's why we're moving on to the protein shake. Oh yes, it's already in there, girl. It's already made right here. This is the mixture of the banana pudding, the chocolate cake, and the buttercream cupcake. And you really want to be fancy, you can go ahead and add that blueberry muffin if that's what you want to do, girl. But for me, it's these three right here. Okay, you put that with some almond milk, you mix it all up in honey. Okay, your muscles have gained life, new energy, agility. Get into it, okay? Just Move Supplements. Thank you very much. Hold up, Chief. Okay, don't forget about that TLC NutriBurst to get that multivitamin popping, because we all need a little extra. And child, if you want that sea moss that go down smooth, don't come up rough, okay? Get into the TLC Nautica sea moss. Yes, get that from me. And child, if your stomach hurt and you need to move some things around so you can be free, okay, go ahead and get that ISO tea down below in the description box. Get it all from me. Come on in, come on in, come on in, not come on in, not come. Sorry, y'all know I'm weird, whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. So let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video, right?
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue, and I am back, love. I am back for scripted TV. Okay, you guys asked me over and over again in several different places, and please do not think that it does not make me feel extremely blessed that you guys love to hear my opinion on these shows, and that even when I want to stop doing them, y'all won't let me. So I have watched episodes 2 and 3 of This Is Us. I have formulated some notes and I want to get into it. And then after that, we'll get into Kings of Napa and we'll end with Power. Okay, child, hopefully this won't be longer than an hour and a half, because I have 2 workouts to get done again today because I've been slipping. Not slipping as much as I was sore as fuck these past 2 days, and I needed my body to recover before I did anything else. And yesterday, it was still hurting to sit on the toilet seat. And y'all know how that can be. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just very happy to see everybody here. Thank you so much, Shanita, for the super chat. I'm here, y'all. Hey, everybody. Hey, Bonnie. Hey, girl. Hey. Thank you, moderators, for coming in. I have a question before we get into it, because I've been thinking about this. I feel like it would be easier for me in the long run if I were to separate all of my lives into videos for you guys, and that includes the shows. I kind of felt like I didn't need to, because the shows don't always get as many views. But for the sake of, having my catalog easily, found in playlists, I think I should do that anyway. So I think I might go ahead and start separating these shows as well. I appreciate my moderators for time coding everything. It always helps. Thank y'all so much. But just so we're aware of how I'm going to be doing things. Also, reminder the website is coming. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a little distracted right now because Lyric came home right before I was about to start this video, didn't get out the car, and then rolled off. And I'm just like, okay, so was he coming home? Is he going to the store? Did they call him back to work? Like, what's happening? So that, I'm sorry. And then it was like, oh, he's home early, great. I want chicken tenders. Issues and problems that y'all shouldn't care about. Anyway, so thank y'all so much for coming through. Shantia, hey, Diane, Latrice, Purely Terry, R. Marie, Kenya, Nikki, Zodiac Palace, Bailey Biggins. Okay, hello, I'm Kayana. Hey, girl. Hey, Miss Kimal Day. Hey, Miss Kimal Day. Lady Day Nay, Just Jazzy, Jackie Renee, Rena, Britt, Carla, Ransomer Ricardo. Hey, Z Haviland. Okay, Hannah, Sweet Jasmine. Hello there. I'm appreciative of everyone coming through today. All right, so let's just go ahead and get into these notes because we have a few things to talk about. First of all, Rebecca and Miguel take Uncle Nicky to go and meet this woman, Sally, that he spent, his last night of virginity with. Okay, she deflowered him on her van under the moon. They said they had just walked on the moon. So it was, it was deep and profound. We saw this scene last season, okay? And Uncle Nicky says he reached out to the woman, got her address, and now he wants to go and meet with her. So Rebecca and Rebecca and Miguel are taking him on this like 300-mile ride to see this woman, okay? Uncle Nicky is obsessing. What's the perfect thing to say? They need to get her a gift. They stop at a old store that he looked up online and found like a camera he wanted to get her. The camera was $90. Uncle Nicky felt like that was way too much money for an old ass camera. The man didn't seem to want to be talked down off the price, but he was going to give up on it. And Rebecca was like, hey, you're not punking out, okay? I'm going to get this damn camera and we're going to this lady's house because we've been driving too long, okay? People too old to be sitting in cars for this amount of time for you to be like, oh, let's just go back when we 20 minutes away. I think not, okay? So, okay, they get to her house. Also, we find out at the store that Uncle Nicky didn't really talk to the woman. So they show up, they go up to the door. He tells her, they met when they met one summer and, explains it to her, but in very little detail. She kind of remembers when she sees the camera, They sit down and talk. And then here comes her husband, Eric. Nicky was going to leave, okay? But they asked him to stay for dinner. So they decide to stay for dinner. At dinner, Uncle Nicky explains that Sally deflowered him under a moon that men had just walked on. Told y'all it was dramatic. She says it's all coming back to her. She thought she had Alzheimer's for a second there. Okay, awkward moment for Rebecca, who has Alzheimer's. Okay, it's going through that now. Then Sally's husband, Eric, says that his wife deflowered most of the Northwest. It was a slight slut shaming that was happening in the moment. Passive aggressiveness, okay, if you will. Rebecca admits at the table that she has Alzheimer's. And of course, Sally is apologetic, but no, how could she have known? Okay. And she thought, once they started getting older and bigger things started happening in their lives, they thought that they would not sweat the small stuff, like Rebecca obsessing about the garbage cans ever since they left the house that morning. But no, the older you get, the more you obsess about these things, it seems, especially with you going through Alzheimer's, you just kind of focus in on things because you're worried about forgetting it. So you focus in on it, and then it kind of causes this kind of, manic thing that happens. So, like when she screamed out at the table because she was going around and around in her mind trying to remember something. You know what I mean? So in this conversation, everybody talks about something that they can't, let go of. That's a small thing. Eric says, he worries about the deck that they built that's not up to code. Okay, he worries about that. Miguel worries about his hair, his beautiful, luxurious hair. He does not want to lose it. Okay, Miguel, you're not going to lose it. If you haven't lost it yet, you're not going to lose it. Okay, you're already old. It's good. You're good. That hair is there, Ricky Ricardo. Okay, and then the husband was about to. Oh, I forgot what Nicky said. He obsesses about the child. Nicky obsesses about a lot of shit, worries about a lot of small shit. Either way, Eric interrupts before Sally can say what small things she obsesses about. And she says that the big things are so loud, she doesn't have time to even think about the small things. Like the fact that she feels as if, her husband neglects her. She says he bought a satellite and now they watch everything on 2 different TVs. They eat at different times. She cooks so much food because she never knows when he's going to want to eat. So basically saying we're in an estranged marriage right now, acting like everything's good, but it's obviously not because we've been throwing passive aggressive slugs at each other, at the table all night, Uncle Nicky said that he thinks about when they were young, and how he felt about her and how he obsessed about this moment where they would come back together. And he feels like essentially it must have pushed him or, made him feel like there was something to hold it together for just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So after he said that, Eric was like, "Well, only true love is unrequited love, because once you get to know somebody, then you can't possibly really love them." Eric, you're a psychopath if you feel that way. You're a psychopath. Like something's wrong with you. If you feel like you can only love someone when you don't know them, or for real, like that's crazy to me. Okay, that he even said that, which again was a slug at his wife, So when she put all of that shit out on the table, like, fuck it, you want to throw all of these passive aggressive roles on me, you know what I'm saying? Then I guess I'm gonna throw out there the fact that you have detached from me. There's a man that's been pining over me for years, and I can barely get you to pay attention to a bitch. So pay attention to a bitch. Okay? Eric is Joe from you. I instantly thought of the same thing. Ranting with Ricardo. Oh Lord, they have to have a moment where they separate, right? Hold up, y'all. We're gonna talk about that in a moment. Still gotta work out though. Yes. Yes, sir. Hello. All right, I'm back. Sorry. So yes, okay. Rebecca and Sally go off to the side and have a conversation in her little room. And she has all these pictures on the wall that she took in her younger days. Nikki is actually on the wall, and he realizes it when he comes back there to see them. But they were both talking about how it feels to get older as women, and how Rebecca is always wearing a scarf around her neck to cover up her neck and the liver spots and putting makeup on them, and not wanting to gray. And I'm like, I don't know why y'all don't want to gray, but I feel like y'all don't want to. I'm gonna just say that I personally feel like all white hair, or like full, like thick heads of gray hair, is beautiful, like in my opinion. But I do recognize that for some people that may not always look good. But I feel like on brown skinned people, this is no shade or anything like that. Please, understand me. But I just feel like on brown skinned people, white hair looks incredible. So like we can go gray. We can go gray. We can go white. We really can. Like, hello. We can go white. Oh, gotcha. Oh shit, have I been detached this whole time? Have I been talking to y'all this whole time without the mic on like an idiot? That's gonna upset me. Let me see. No, I don't see it. I don't see it up here. Yeah, I've been talking this whole time without the mic. Okay. All right. I'm gonna start over then. Um, I'm gonna cancel this live and I'm gonna come right back, okay? Sorry, y'all. Cause I cannot. Um, yeah, but it came through loud and clear. We could still hear. Um, I thought you stepped away real quick. It's okay, Bondi. We still heard you. Well, I did. Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll just keep going. So I'm sorry, it's gonna aggravate the shit out of me. I cannot stand. Okay, let me just go ahead and move on. So Rebecca and Sally are sitting there talking about how old they're getting, you know, vagina necks, gray hair, nobody wants to have white hair, blah, 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 blah. Then Nikki comes in and says it's time to go. He takes one of the pictures and, you know, goes to the car. Rebecca this whole time has been feeling like, you know, I guess feeling sad in a way that Miguel has to have this kind of broken version of her. And I say that because she's not as young. She's not as beautiful and prime as she was when she was with Jack in her mind. And on top of that, she's losing her memory. So he's gonna have to be there for her in a capacity where she's not gonna be able to be her best self anymore or any resemblance of who she was at some point. And that's gonna be hard for him, a battle, and you know that's gonna be work for him, you know. So she feels bad about that, and he reassures her that he loves her and that he still wants to do everything that they plan to do together. So they decide to go back to salsa dancing because they used to do that until Rebecca let some weird ass young girl make her feel bad about being 60 something at salsa class. Like, girl, you can't be worrying about what other people think, okay? But anyway, especially not at 60, girl, you can't be worrying about what no young bitch think. Hey, look, if you could still dance like this at 60, little girl, then we can have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? So either way, it was a moment. They made out. Nikki got in the car. Nikki decides that he's going to go back into the woods in his trailer. His trailer is newly renovated, and Kevin is rebuilding the cabin out there. So he's like, he's gonna need an adult there. So he's gonna go back to living in his cabin, right? So we see him get on a plane, and the flight attendant who asked him to pull his seat up, her name is Edie, and she is played by Vanessa Bell Calloway. Okay, y'all know I love me some Vanessa Bell Calloway now. Okay, and basically they were flirting with each other, and then we see flash forward when everybody is showing up to the cabin. Okay, everybody's showing up to the cabin, and it's old Randall and his three daughters pull up, and then here comes Edie. Edie pulls up and kisses Nikki, and they say they miss each other, and he says he misses her more. And it's like, oh my God, Nikki went from being like a drug addict in the war, you know, from being abused by his parents, and then living as a recluse in a broken down trailer as an alcoholic. And then he got better and dealt with his issues and became an ornery ass old man. And then he met a bitch and lived out his life happily. What? Like, what? Like, that was insane. That was like, I just ran it down to y'all. This man has had a full life. Okay. That is insane. I love that though. And I can't wait to see more of that in the upcoming season, hopefully. But they do love to drop off these little tidbits and then leave you wondering. So I wonder how that's all going to play out. Okay. So moving on from there, y'all, let's talk about Deja. Deja goes to Boston to see Malik. Malik's in school. He's at Harvard, right? She also meets his baby mama, Jennifer, that's giving hood girl vibes, right? Jennifer could care less about meeting Deja. She's like, hey, girl. And when Deja goes to introduce herself and it's like, hey, it's nice to meet you, she instantly goes for the baby. It's like you can tell she's doing it on purpose, right? So she looked bothered when Malik opened the door and Deja walked in behind him in front of her. Like, it's like, bitch, she's standing in front of you. Why would she like let you walk in first? And then she uses the kid to push Deja out of the way. It was just real weird ass energy. Okay. Then she's complaining about Malik being late. And Malik is like, I'm sorry. I've been trying to get this paper done. And then she looks at Deja and it's like, oh, right, a paper. He goes in the back to get her dressed, comes back out, and this bitch is cleaning out his refrigerator, talking about, I was going to go to the grocery store, but you were late. Ma'am, you could have still went to the grocery store. Why would you try to go to the grocery store before dinner at your parents' house? That doesn't even make any sense. That doesn't even make any sense. It sounds to me that you want a reason to have a problem with Malik and to make his life hard. And that shit is fucking aggravating. Okay? And so Deja sees how much stress he's under. She sees all the coffee cups. She sees that he's trying to do a lot of things at one time. So she tells him to go to the library for 2 hours, finish his paper, and they'll go out that night. That's what they do. They go out. She puts on this nice dress with red lipstick. And then after they finish hunching on a dance floor, they go back to his apartment to hunch in real life. And, she was like, my heart is beating so fast. And he was like, you nervous? And she was like, you're not? and he took his shirt off, and that was basically, I guess, the no, I'm not. Whoa, I'm like, he shouldn't be. He got a fucking baby. What he scared the fuck for? The worst case scenario has already taken place. And it's not that bad. So he'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? But it was cute. So Deja went ahead and broke her virginity because her parents trusted her. So Jack, okay, we're going to the next episode, right? We see baby Jack. Deja is beautiful. The BM was absolutely doing the most and working on my nerves. Malik did have custody, but at the end, remember at the end of the last season, right? Not really at the end, she said she wanted to be back in the baby's life. And so when he went to school, which I believe was where she lived, he was able to, do this co-parenting situation with her. But she decided she wanted to be a part of the baby's life once all of the, hard work I feel like had been done, the up all night with the baby, I mean, the baby's still young, baby like what, 2 years old or something like that, but still, bitch, like you missed a lot of it, and you come back with all of this fucking attitude and shit. And you can tell because Deja's giving, girl next door. But you don't know Deja life like that. You don't know Deja life like that. Deja wasn't nobody's little girl next door. She just was blessed with parents that loved her enough to do for her. And I believe that you already had parents that love you. Okay. So I don't know what you out here thinking, but pull it together, BM. Jennifer. Okay, Poe Malik, y'all. Anyway, like it almost seemed like she mad, resenting him. You didn't want your baby. Like, y'all are not together. What was that man supposed to be doing out here? Okay. Deja will drag that little girl. I don't know. She was real tall. She was giving it could go either way. She was giving I will put my money 50-50 and see which one I won. Okay. But either way, yes, episode 3. We see Jack. Y'all know we get these future glimpses of Jack, which is Kate and Toby's blind little boy, right? So he grows up, becomes a musician, has this amazing LA mansion, and he's cooking barbecue for him and his wife. And, he stops for a moment and smells the smoke, and it reminds him of that day. We don't know what day they're talking about. And then we get the rest of the episode. So Jack, we get the past, okay? Jack comes home, old Jack. Y'all know who I'm talking about, the daddy, okay? Jack comes home from work too late to see the kids before they went to sleep. And he's starting to feel like his kids are not going to remember him because of how much he works. So Jack is taking the kids to the movies in order to have great memories with them. Kevin's ass decides to disappear at the food court. And because Rebecca is so smart and knows her kids, she wrote her phone number in the tongue of the kids' shoes. So when you open up the shoe, find her phone number. So they called Rebecca because Jack was like, how did you even know he was here? Jack comes running out of the movie theater with the other 2 kids looking for Kevin, and they're already at the police, little place in the mall or whatever. And he's worried about Kevin only remembering being traumatized. He wanted him to have a good memory, not a memory of him being lost in the mall and traumatized, being left alone. And Rebecca tells him about the kids going to the park the previous day, right? It was a fucking mess. It was absolutely ridiculous. They were all in the car crying. But then the kids saw a ladybug. And Kevin is like, oh, a ladybug is good luck. And then Randall is like, ladybugs have all of these wings and, some scientific shit. And then Kate decided to name the ladybug Linda the ladybug. So after that, that was all the kids remembered, the damn ladybug. And y'all, it was so funny when I was watching this episode because I was like, that reminds me of Serafina. I don't know if y'all have ever watched Serafina. It's one of my favorite movies, but it is extremely graphic about the way they abused the kids during the apartheid. Like, they electrocuted those fucking, they were children. They were children. They electrocuted and tortured children. And this is a part of the movie. One of my favorite songs from the movie is when they were taking the kids to this, in prison camp, whatever the fuck they call it. Yo
elele mama, helele siawi asitawa. I don't know the language, but I know what it sounds like. Oli pehile. Helele ti matiri papa, matware ture pasa. Si mala si pate, asine Johane. Helele kanlimane, masanto Africa. All right, I'm not gonna do the whole thing because I don't know the words like that. But y'all know that song, okay? If you've watched that movie enough, you know the song that they play when the kids was on the bus on the way to get tortured for information that they didn't have. They were rebelling, but they're rebelling because y'all at the school with guns and shit. The fuck wrong with y'all? Like y'all walking around in people's school. This sounds correct to me. Watched that movie a million times. When I was a kid, I blocked out all of the torture. I watched it again as an adult, and that's when I remembered it. But as a kid, I had completely blocked it out. Did not remember it until I watched Serafina again as an adult. Okay? So that's how you know kids really do block out things that can be traumatic for them if they're allowed to. They remember patterns. But if one instance is traumatic and they can block it out, they'll block it out. And that part of the movie, I blocked out. So when, they were talking about this, I was like, they're absolutely right. Rebecca tells him about sorry, y'all. So because of that situation, Rebecca was like, you always have a chance to make the day better. You know what I'm saying? We ain't went to sleep yet. You can make this day better. So you can change the memory. You can make the memory better. Fine. Okay. So he decides to make Sundays, pull out some VHS tapes, put some pillows on the ground, and the kids gonna pig out on the floor, watching movies, eating Sundays. And that is what they remembered. And then eventually, and this is what I remembered, is that because Jack felt like he traumatized Kevin the first time they went to the movies, he kept taking him to the movies after that to make up for that moment, and that became their thing. And that is why Kevin decided to become an actor. Okay? So even the smallest things, and it's so funny because Toby will do the exact same thing this episode. Toby will take one small instance of trying to make sure that his kids have better memories of their family and spending time together. And that one thing will carry on in little Jack's life for the rest of his life, or, foreseeable future that we see. Okay. But back into my notes. Okay. So after they have this amazing night, and Rebecca is like, I was right, Jack gets a call that his mom died. So next episode, Jack is going to go to his mom's funeral, and he's going to be around his family, and we're going to see what that's like. And y'all remember the daddy used to abuse the mama and all of that shit. So, Yes. Jaylee is doing better. She is doing better. Thank God. We actually got, another update today that things are moving, upward tick. Okay. So y'all keep my friend in y'all prayers. Okay, y'all. So we get to see Toby this episode. Y'all, Toby looks good. Toby lost a lot of weight. Toby looks amazing. Okay. And he had a nice suit on and everything. He's making money. And he's a working dad, and he's leaving the house for a few days and coming back for the weekends and traveling back and forth. It's a lot, and he's FaceTiming with Kate, and then, Kate has to leave to go and handle the kids, and then he has to leave to go and handle work, and they're just missing each other. And you can tell that things are going downhill with Toby and Kate as far as the marriage is concerned. And it's becoming increasingly harder for Toby to be the type of parent he really would like to be, right? So when he comes home, he's buying gifts because he's trying to make up for the time that's been lost, buying toys. And he decides to buy little Jack, who is talking now and adorable and can have temper tantrums when he feels like it. Okay. He was so adorable, y'all. But he bought him like a little, a football that bings so he can hear it. And that way he can get to it when, he's looking for it, when he's playing with it. And he gave the toy to Jack before his 3 p.m. nap, which made him cranky when it was time for Kate and Toby to leave the kids with a sitter and go to a recital that she was having at her school. And so because of that, Toby ends up staying behind to make sure that little Jack is okay and gets to bed because the babysitter ain't worth shit. And Kate goes to the recital, and after gets to spend some more time with her boss, talking about how terrible it is right now with her husband. And then her boss tells her that his ex-wife and him used to argue all the time about bath towels until he realized that it was a little passive aggressive and he was actually angrier about something bigger. Okay, and you heard us say X. Okay, so we see what's happening between Kate and the boss at the school. Okay, so y'all, Kevin is co-parenting, trying to be there every morning for Madison and the kids, still having a hard time with the fact that he's not in the household with them. And he also took this job with the Manny that he wasn't supposed to take so that he can be closer to the kids. And then while he is trying to have some time with a few of his castmates at the club or at the bar or something like that, he gets a text of the baby walking, one of the twins walking for the first time. And he runs home, but the baby's asleep. And he's pissed and he's mad that Madison didn't keep the baby awake for 30 more minutes so that he could tell the baby that he loved her. And Madison is like, bruh, I understand that you having all these feelings and shit right now, but I have had a rough day. Okay. Yes, the baby walked. Great. But the other baby threw up in my fucking hair and I got a date to get ready for. So I don't end up alone. So at the end of the day, I understand all of that, Kevin, but this is not easy for me either. Okay. Not. Okay. And she had to check him. She had to get him together. Because even though you're missing things, she's here for everything, even the things that she doesn't want to be here for. Okay. It's still 2 kids. It's still hard. It's still tough. And just because you're missing things doesn't mean you get to come here and lay all of that on her as if she isn't carrying the physical load of taking care of the 2 children while you're out working. So just calm the fuck down. Okay. And we see Madison is definitely going to be, making that little geeky dude Elijah a thing. So Kevin needs to just get over it. Okay. Kevin, find you another bitch. Okay. Deal with the fact that sometimes one of y'all is going to be left out. Kevin and Toby talk about their issues, their respective issues. And basically, Kevin had all of these expectations for what the family was going to look like, and he needs to get that out of his head. That's not what's going to happen now. Now it's going to be you and the 2 kids. Okay? Yeah, you're going to care about Madison as the mother of your kids, but it's not you, her, and the kids. It's you and the kids, and then it's her and the kids. Okay? That's how you're going to have to start thinking about it in your head in order to, to get over the fact that y'all are not going to be a happy family all under one roof. And Toby reminded him that you can all be, under one roof and it can still be shitty. Okay. So ultimately, you need to be trying to make this triangle situation work and stop trying to put all of this weight on a square that's not going to hold it up. I was like, come on with the engineering metaphors. Okay. Come on, Toby. You better be making that money out there. Later that night, Kevin calls Cassidy, aka Happily Ever After, as I like to refer to her, because she was the main character on Happily Ever After, and she came over here. I've been wanting Kevin and Cassidy to get together, and they've been playing with us. But when he was trying to not go and fuck his young co-star, he called Cassidy. So I'm hoping that happens eventually. We're hoping for it. Okay. And then Toby and Kate have a conversation where he basically says that he knows that she's more in tune with the kids right now. So he needs to follow her lead. All right. But he does want to create memories. So he's going to buy this smoker. And then we see this is the smoker that young Jack, baby Jack, is using in the future to make this barbecue for him and his wife. And his wife is like, I don't understand why you keep that thing. It's a literal reminder of when your mom and dad's marriage blew up. And it was also the day that, your beautiful face was almost deformed and there was a scar here on his head. And remember at the beginning of the episode, he had this moment where he could see the blurred lights. It was like his first memory. And I think he was crying, and you can hear Rebecca, Jack, we don't know what's going on because we can't really see. We just know it's a melee going on. It just sounds like a lot of chaos. And so I believe that something must have happened with the smoker, and a fight broke out between Kate and Toby. That's how their marriage ended up ending. And then something happened where Jack got hurt, but he's okay now. Either way, he holds on to the smoker. And he says it's because it's delicious. But we think it's because it's the memory of it. You know what I'm saying? And plus, you know, it's a good smoker. Why throw away a good smoker if it's still a good smoker? All right. So moving on from there, Randall and Deja. So y'all know we just talked about the fact that Deja got her cherry pie by Malik in Boston. She was supposed to be with a homegirl having a sleepover. Okay, a homegirl from back home where they used to live in Boston. Okay, y'all know they moved to Pennsylvania. No, they moved. Where did they move? Philadelphia. They moved to Philadelphia from Boston, I believe. So anyway, Randall is teaching Deja how to drive. And now the cars like to read your text messages. And so Malik is texting about how big the bed feels without her, and it's a twin size bed. So he doesn't. No, that's not what's happening. Randall hears it. It's uncomfortable. Randall loses his shit. When he gets back to the house, he has to go for a run because he just can't even take this conversation. Beth has a conversation with Deja, but we didn't get to hear it, which annoyed me because I wanted to hear what she said to Deja. You know what I'm saying? But either way, when he comes back, you know, he's looking for what punishment, what's the punishment going to be? And Beth tells Randall that they have to adjust. And then she gives him, you know, her wine and says, take a big drink of this wine. And then she says, I'm going to take Deja to get birth control. And Randall goes to have a conversation with Deja and basically says he understands that he's having a hard time with letting go of the image of her that he had when they first adopted her, and that he didn't have those first 12 years with her. So he was really trying to hold on to this kid version of her when really she was never really that much of a kid in the first place. She's more mature than most people her age. And so he has to deal with the fact that things are happening faster than he would like. But she's not going to Boston anytime soon to make out, have sex, or see her little boyfriend. She tell Randall, well, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem. Deja, don't make us hurt you, Deja. Don't make us be old school parents. We're trying to be progressive. We're trying to be progressive. You're making us want to hit you. We don't want to do that, Deja. You lied. You can't see Malik. Period. 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 Oh, you gonna go? Oh, you gonna go? Tell me how you gonna go and what you gonna do and how you gonna get there. What you gonna do? How you gonna make that work? Let me know. Let me know. Talk to me. What you gonna do when you come back? Beth said it was going to be a problem first, basically. She did. She did say it was going to be a problem trying to keep them apart. But I feel like you can pretty much guess you're not going back to fuck him next week, right? You can pretty much guess that that's going to be on the calm down. But if you're putting her on birth control, you got to know that she's going to try to go and fuck him. So I don't know what Randall think going to happen, but I just didn't like the way Deja talked to him like she was, you know, grown or something like that, talking about that's going to be a problem. What you mean it's going to be a problem? What you want to fight? What you want to box? What you want to tussle? I know that's not what you want. So let's go ahead and move on, y'all, to the Kings of Napa. Y'all, this is a really good show. This is a really good show. Y'all need to get into it. But before we do, we need to change up the energy a little bit. Okay, we're back. So, Kings of Napa, last episode, okay, there was a weird voice, okay, obviously an anonymous voice being digitized, you know, sounding stupid. Called August and said they're expecting $150,000, okay, paid from her to continue the payments that her father was paying. So basically, the Kings are being extorted by someone, and we don't know who they are, and we don't know why. Okay, we don't have a clue. And August is going to try to figure out what's going on here. But at the same time, she's trying to launch a dessert wine in the next 6 months. And we all know that Dana, the CFO, is against it. And, everybody else is just in the middle shaking their heads either way. But she wants to target the millennials now, and she gives her family their marching orders, which they didn't exact. Well, I'm going to say Dana didn't exactly like. Dana says that this could decrease their profit margins, making it harder to release their Merlot and their Pinot Grigio wines, which are their big sellers. And, he's giving Carlton vibes. You want to smack him, like, sit the fuck down. You know what I'm saying? But the waves are on fleek. But she was like, we can just use credit if we have to. And he was like, I know as the CFO that our credit is almost maxed out. And I'm like, so if you knew that the credit was almost maxed out, you didn't know about any of these other money issues that the daddy was having, Dana? You're supposed to be in charge of the books. You're supposed to be in charge of the books, Dana. Dana works on my nerves because he really does not want to accept the fact that August is in charge of the girls. And I need for him to understand it because at the end of the day, Dana, somebody did die and leave her as king. Your dad. He did that, as Christian told you. And it was because he felt that she should be in that position and not you. And that's so sad. That's so sad. You're upset. But you're still in charge of some things like the money. And you didn't even know about that. And I'm sure if August was in charge of the money and did not know about debt of this magnitude, extortion of this magnitude, okay, you would be rubbing it in her face and saying that's the reason why she shouldn't be in charge of anything because she allowed for this to happen. We're sure that you would do that, Dana. So the idea that all of this money shit is an issue and you didn't know about it, but you're always trying to use the fact that you're in charge of the money to try to, force August's hand all the time. Like, oh my God, you're obnoxious. You're obnoxious. So y'all, Vanessa is getting ready to pack up all of Reggie's things so she can move him about the house because she's pissed off, okay? All right, she's mad. You fucked my sister, you got her pregnant, and then you allowed me to low-key help raise my niece, who is also my stepchild, but you didn't tell me about that. And then you continued to have an affair with my sister. So yeah, I don't fuck with you, not even in death, okay? She's going through it and she's pretending she's not, which is what everybody is good at, okay? Pretending that everything is fine when it's not. August gets a call from that anonymous voice again about this 150K and how they need it that night, okay? August tells Bridget about this whole situation when they sneaky link for lunch, okay? It's a sneaky link because Vanessa can't know that they're linking up, but not for any, incestuous reasons. They discuss who could be doing this, who could be extorting the family, and for what, for why. It could be anybody. We see that the daddy was out here moving flaw, okay? And so Bridget then kind of lets the cat out of the bag that she and Reggie used to meet up for lobster rolls like every week or something like that, or every month. I can't remember which one it was. But when they would meet for the lobster rolls, he would go to the bank across the street, all right? Now, August felt away about this. He didn't make any dates with me. Girl, this is not about that. Can we focus? This is not about that. Okay? Either way, they go to the bank. All right. He was making monthly $150,000 withdrawals for the last 10 months. They go to Melanie, Bridget's mom, the sister, to ask her about it. And she says that she knows he was being extorted and that he didn't know who it was. He went to Melanie and not to Vanessa because he did not want to ruin his wife's image of him. Okay? Child, it's a whole bunch of mess. You know what's crazy to me? Even though I feel like Melanie is flawed, I feel like I don't like Vanessa's displaced anger. And I feel like a lot of the blame needs to be put on Reggie. I feel like everybody's trying to look at him like he's some fucking saint, even though he basically pitted these two sisters against each other when he decided to fuck and impregnate one and then later go on to marry, okay, the other. At the end of the day, Reggie is a flawed, dog-ass And because he went on to be the great family man and put everybody in a prosperous situation, we're going to overlook that. Oh, okay. I mean, it sounds about right. Okay. Anyway, y'all, moving on from there. Vanessa is hosting like this women's bachelorette party. I felt like she was saying it was her sorors or something, but I wasn't sure. But either way, she's in charge of hosting them and taking them around the vineyard and being there for whatever different activities that they do. And Vanessa talks to Yvette, that's the other sister, that's not her sister, that's Reggie's sister, Aunt Yvette. Talks to Aunt Yvette about how angry she is with Melanie and how Aunt Yvette better not be talking to her. Aunt Yvette is lying. She is talking to Melanie, but everybody's lying to Vanessa about it because even though they know she has a right to be angry, they feel like she's being ridiculous. They just are too scared to say it to her because she'll threaten to fire them. So she wants to make sure that nobody is reaching out to Melanie. And it's just like, girl, that's your sister. You're going to have to talk to her eventually. I don't know what the fuck you think you're doing. And I also don't like the fact that you think you can punk the rest of your family into not talking to her as if y'all aren't family. Like, I understand that something happened and you're upset. We get it, Vanessa. You have a right to be. But you also don't have a right to dictate how the other family members treat Melanie. Like, that's just ridiculous. I'm sorry, y'all. I thought I saw something move. But I didn't. Okay. I heard something look this way and then this threw me off. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Okay. Sorry. So, oh, where was I? Okay. Vanessa is continuing to consider Bridget a casualty of war. I don't like that either. It's not her fault that, her parents are terrible. Like, it's not her fault. The fuck? August goes to Dana to talk to him about Reggie and, this extortionist and all of this. And Dana wants to play Billy Badass until the extorter calls and threatens to kill Aunt Vanessa. Okay, said I'm 3 minutes away from her. It's going to take you 3 minutes to call the police and 9 minutes for them to get here. And it's going to take 3 minutes for me to circle the parking lot and slit her throat. So what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Okay. Dana is such like an asshole. I can't stand people that if put under real pressure would crack like that. But as soon as somebody else's life is in a bag, you want to be all tough. Shut up. Okay. Shut up. So Christian is lacking on the vines. Okay. Christian is supposed to be in charge of the grapes now that Bridget is no longer there. But from what we understand from the workers, Christian is not really around a lot. Christian has not learned how to do the grapes. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He is relying on the workers that Bridget was working with to do what they need to do. Okay. And they're not trying to talk to him either. So Aunt Yvette tells him to show them some appreciation, which for him means go get some wings and liquor before they handle heavy machinery. Christian is not that smart. You want to do something? Give them a raise. You want to do something? Give them some envelopes with a check in it. You want to do something for them? Give them some days off. Like, that's what you do. You don't come in here with chicken and fucking alcohol before these people handle heavy machinery in a vineyard. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Anyway, y'all, after Reggie is honored at some dinner, August, Dana, and Bridget go to the park to pay the extortionist, right? So they pay the money and then they end up going to a diner after. And then Calvin's wife, Calvin is August's ex-boyfriend, kind of like the one that got away. He's also the family's lawyer. His wife, Sonia, comes over to their table to say hello. And it's just kind of like, bitch, we already know that you don't like me and I don't like you. What did you over here for with the fake niceties? Okay. But either way, once she walks away, Dana decides that he's going to tell their mom and going to tell their mom about the whole, extortion situation and the fact that their dad was some secret traitor. And I'm like, so I understand being angry with your dad for what's happened, but you're always making it about you, Dana. You're not mad that your dad lied to everybody. You're mad that your dad didn't make you his second. You're mad that he put August in that place instead of you. That's what you're upset about. You're not upset that he was fucking your aunt. Give me a break. Okay? Give me a fucking break. But the next day, when confronted with his mother, he decides to lie. And his wife, Rose, was trying to force him to tell the truth. She's rather obnoxious and a pick-me. She's beautiful, though. Um, then Vanessa threatens to vote August out as the president of the company if she lies to Vanessa again. And I'm just kind of like, girl, you're going to have to get yourself in a position where your mama cannot play with you like that. Because at the end of the day, you can personally feel however you want to feel. But ultimately, you're not going to like vote me out of my seat because you're mad that I'm not telling you shit that I don't necessarily have to tell you as the president of this company. And if you really want to handle some shit, I would have told her. I would have been like, okay, dad's been being extortion, okay, blackmailed for $150,000. Are you going to pay it? Tell me how we can pay it. Go ahead, mom, handle it, because you're walking around with a bottle taped to your hand. So let me know how you're going to handle this situation, or are you going to tell me to handle it? Like, get the fuck out. Like, she was pissing me off. Vanessa was pissing me off, y'all. Okay. So August goes to see Calvin about this case with Melanie. And Melanie basically says, as long as they agree to pay her what they say they were going to pay her, which is $5 million instead of the 10, and they give Bridget her job back, everything is good. Okay. And then after they finish discussing that, Calvin is like, so when am I going to see you again, August? And she like, oh, no, sir. You have a wife. And I know that you're not trying to play me like a soybean burger bitch, like I'm about to be a side chick for you, nigga. You got me fucked up. Okay? Basically in so many words. And then he was like, you finish? Okay. And she was like, he was like, actually, I'm separated. And I wear my ring because I didn't feel like dating anybody because everybody was going to be on that man dick. And they were. You could see that, they would be on that man dick. You could see. So, she was smiling and all of that after that. Child, they're going to be hunching next episode. I bet any money on it. So Bridget finds some letters and tapes in her house and decides to bring it to August. And they find out it was love letters between Melanie and Reggie, including letters that Reggie wrote Melanie and mixtapes that Melanie sent to Reggie. Vanessa overhears them talking about it, reads it, gets even more upset, okay? Blames Bridget. Then she goes to her sorors and spills all of her tea to them, okay? With the wine in her hand, toasting to your husband, building a fortress, and then fucking your sister, okay? Like, yeah. She said, my sister was sitting on my husband's big dick. I'm like, well, hey, there's that. Dana tells August that she can't bring Bridget back because their mama gonna lose it. Meanwhile, Bridget is giving Melanie her ass to kiss because the Kings are her family and they're going to give her job back. So she doesn't need her mom. I get that you're mad at your mom for lying to you about who your father is and all of that. But for you to give that to Vanessa, for you to give that to August before calling your mom, I have to wonder, it's probably because Melanie wasn't around like that. So she doesn't really feel like you are her family like that because you always chose what you wanted to do, which is run away from your responsibilities, which was your daughter. But now we get it. It's hard to sit up in my sister and, my brother-in-law that I'm fucking, who's the father of my kid. It's hard to sit up in y'all face. But I damn sure wouldn't have sent my kid to live with them. And that's what she did. So it's a lot of backstory that we need about how this all took place. Like, because basically it sounds to me like Reggie had custody of y'all daughter. And somehow nobody else really knew about it besides Aunt Yvette. Girl, I don't know. Okay. But moving on from there, August shows up to tell Bridget that she can't bring her back, which is hilarious. And Bridget tells her that she will never be like Dad, and she's ruining his legacy. I said, not ruining this nigga's legacy. What type of pick-me, misogynistic, male-identified shit is this? So it's August's fault. It's August's fault that she can't get her mom to stop acting like an asshole and give you your job back. It's her fault. It's not your dad. It's not his fault. And what do you mean ruined his legacy? He fucked 2 sisters. That's his legacy. That's his legacy. How was it August's fault? Girl, that scene had me so mad. Melanie comes over to Vanessa's house demanding that they give Bridget back her job. But Vanessa tells her August didn't want to bring Bridget back because if she did, she would have supported her. But see, she has a daughter that respects her. And I was just like, how dare you put that shit on August? Like August wanted to fire her sister / best friend. We all know that was you and that she didn't want to do that. Are we serious right now? Are we serious right now? Y'all, these people, the show is good, but these people stress me out. They really, really do. Okay. Moving on from there, y'all, we got to get into power. And bitch, power stressed me out even more so. Power stressed me out even more so. I'm always like, how is Tyreek gonna get out of this one? Girl. Hold up. Yes. All right, y'all. Let's get into power. All right, let's go ahead and get into power, you guys. So, Lorenzo and Drew. Y'all, Lorenzo and Drew actually look alike. Like, it really do look like if Lorenzo had a baby with a black lady, it would look like Drew. Is it just me? Anyway, and Zeke kind of does look like Dante. Like, it's weird that they have similarities about them. I'm glad that they chose to pick characters that in some way look familiar to each other. I mean, look similar to each other. So y'all, Lorenzo and Drew run up on Keno. Keno, y'all know that's the competition, all right? At first, he was supposed to be an ally, but he decided to go and befriend foes. So now he a foe, and we out here having to knock that nigga head off while he was in the middle of laying down some penis on some young girl. Now, Drew thought they was going to be able to get out of there without killing this girl, but Lorenzo's henchman ends up blowing her chest out through the pillow. Okay, it was sad. Then we got Uncle Frank's wife, and y'all know that's homegirl from New York Undercover. Uncle Frank's wife comes looking for him. I'm like, girl, you know how long it's been since Uncle Frank got killed because he was out here turning state's evidence to the federale hood? Like, we already, like, that happened a while ago, sis. That happened a while ago, sis, and you're just now showing up looking for your husband, girl. You was not looking for him until you started running out of money. So Monet tells her, look, here goes some money. Charge it to the game, okay? Like, you already know what it is. I guess he didn't make it, okay? And then she left, and we ain't really hear nothing else about it, but she said, tell Lorenzo, be safe out here, which makes me feel like Monet may be able to use this lady and her two sons at some point to kill Lorenzo for what happened with Uncle Frank, because I believe Uncle Frank's murder was his call. Okay, so Lorenzo and Drew come home from killing Keno, and Monet is pissed off because she didn't want her son in his life. She didn't want her son in his life, okay? She wanted him to get out. She said, my child already been shot, okay? And he like, well, you know, this is a part of that street shit. We into that street shit, okay? It's what we about. And she was like, that's why I was trying to get out, okay? That's why I really wanted us to follow Zeke. I ain't gonna never live off another man. All right, nigga, whatever, okay? Whatever. Like, see, here's the thing. To me, I think Lorenzo thinks that he is higher than he really is, when really all Lorenzo is a over glamorized street thug with delusions of grandeur. That's what I was trying to say. Okay, delusions of grandeur, motherfucker. You are not as smart as you think you are. You're not. You got out of jail because your daughter paid $1 million for somebody to look into your case, and by the grace of God, there are crooked cops all over the place. Okay, by the grace of the devil, there was somebody out there padding your file to get your ass put in prison, and we was able to get you out. Yeah, no, I definitely think she gonna end up. Oh wait, hold on. You think D might be murking Lorenzo over his son? Oh, you think that Dante might end up killing Lorenzo over Zeke? Is that what you saying? That's on my mind now. Okay, I'll put that in the back of the mind as a possible outcome to this very fucked up situation. Okay, but either way, y'all, Lorenzo says that this is what it's gonna be. It's how it's gonna go. All right, so they move on from there. So then we got Tariq meeting with Davis and Sachs about this video of Ramirez's murder. Apparently, stupid ass Bobby Brown was caught on camera shooting Ramirez, but you can't see his face. You can just see a body standing there. So it's a possibility that it could be Tariq as far as the federale hood and the police are concerned, even though they're different skin tones, different heights, different body sizes, but somehow it could possibly be Tariq and, not somebody else, namely Bobby Brown, who did it, okay? He says that it wasn't him because he was with Paula at Rockefeller Center that night. Well, we can't really use that considering the fact that Davis fucked over Paula, okay, and ruined his relationship with her. But we'll get to that in a minute. They realize that Tariq is protecting someone, and Davis understands this street shit, okay? He gets it. Sachs, who has been, it kills me how you could be a part of the federale hood, Sachs, and don't know this street shit. You don't know that the reason why he's not telling is because he's trying to protect him and his family? Really? You don't understand that? That's lost upon you? Get the out of my facial. Thank you, DeQuasia. I can't stand Monet. She gotta go like ASAP. Thank you for the super chat, love. Okay. That just really annoyed me about Sachs. Like, why does somebody have to tell you that it's probably not safe? Especially when y'all are the ones that handle when people go into witness protection. That's what he used to be in charge of when he was working for the DA. He was, one of the cops that would sometimes be involved in that type of situation. RICO charges, putting people under protective custody. So how the fuck you don't know that it's not that simple for Tariq to just say who killed who, nigga? Like, I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm tired of Sachs. If anybody needs to fucking die, it's Sachs, okay? I'm done. I'm over it. I don't care he's a great guy in real life, Courtney. He needs to go, okay? Anyway, y'all, I'm sorry. Tirade. Sorry. Okay, I'm trying to find my notes. All right. So they realize Tariq is protecting someone. David understands this street shit. He can't say shit. Davis meets with Paula. Paula look good, y'all. Paula had on all white. I was like, you look good, bitch. You look real good. Little bye. You know what I'm saying? And, he talking this shit to Paula about how he forgives her for going behind his back with Tariq. She pours her drink on his shoes and tells him to put his ring back on. Fuck out my face, nigga. I appreciated this. I really did. I appreciated this moment. Because he was being an asshole. Like, how the fuck you gonna come asking me for a favor and then tell me that you forgive me? Who are you talking to, nigga? Like, I'm gonna need for you to stop being slimy and grimy and, fake nice lawyer and all of that. Can you cut that out for a minute, Davis? Jesus Christ. Talk to me real for a second. He didn't call her a baddie. He said she was a baddie. He said, that's a badass bitch. That's what he said. That's a badass bitch. I'm a badass bitch, nigga. That's why your dope gone and now your weed in the ozone. I'm doing get on more drugs and naked. Yelling out, so what, huh? Because you can never be my only one. Because I want too much shit. Want too much done. Recognize who I be. You see me in a coupe like a pooch in a coupe with the roof dropped down. Where my real bitch is at? Right here. I'm sorry. Leave me alone, lyrics. People enjoy these moments when I start going off on songs that, only a few of us know. Anyway, treating niggas like rental cars, dogging them out when no dough, there's nothing we can talk about. All right. So Tariq and Braden, y'all. Tariq and Braden go back and forth about Braden not wanting this picture of his dad and Sweeney in blackface to come out. But Tariq is like, listen, dude, I need it. I need this to get this to Tate so Tate can continue to help me get my sister, and help me get off this murder case. Nigga, what you talking about? And Braden is like, no, bro, I cannot put my daddy out there like that. All right. So Tariq goes to see Tate and basically ask Tate if they can do something to protect Braden's dad. And Tate was like, look, little nigga, I don't want to hear all that shit about your punk ass friend. Okay. You on trial for murder. Give me that picture, nigga. Okay. And then, of course, Tariq's like, all right, bro, I'm going to do it. All right, I'm going to make sure it works. You know what I'm saying? And they work it out. Okay. And this is when we see how street Tate can be sometimes. It's just hilarious. Tariq is back in class, and Professor Zoe wants to know how a judge could let him out. I'm like, Professor Zoe, listen, honey, listen. We all want to defend your right to sling that cat around as you please to adult men. Okay, we do. We want to defend your right to do that, ma'am, even though we know, like, it's not a good look for you to be fucking on your slow students, okay? But, okay, we know it's because you have an issue. You like fucking people. It's not because you think he a child. No, you just like fucking people. Like, that's what's going on with you. And we be wanting to have your back with that. But when you try to be this moral majority or something, or have this superiority complex about the way Tariq has had to go through things, it definitely makes the sincerity you thought you had when you were trying to get all his business up out of him when he first came to Stansfield, it comes off as disingenuous at this point. Because if you really know everything that he's been through, then you will understand some of the decisions that he's had to make, especially if you're really thinking about who he is. But honestly, sometimes I feel like Professor Zoe is mad that she didn't get a chance to fuck Tariq. Okay, she got a chance to fuck everybody but Tariq. Okay. Anyway, when they get to class, they talk about making decisions for other people and how, there are a whole bunch of different entities that make decisions for people. Big Bang Bisha brings up, okay, y'all know that's what I like to call her. Big Bang Bisha brings up how the school made decisions for the students when they decided to allow the police to come in and search all of their dorm rooms, okay? And some white boy thinks that Lauren should have been smarter to hide her drugs, but we all know that those weren't Lauren's drugs, okay? Big Bang Bisha is like, well, the school needs to protect the students instead of letting the police come in and target BIPOC students, meaning, black and people of color, meaning that did y'all arrest any white kids for having drugs in their room? Because this nigga think he's smart when at the end of the day, they probably found his shit and felt like he wasn't a suspect. So that's the only reason he didn't get called into the police station. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, Tariq asked Lauren about her room being raided after class, and she kind of blows him off. So Tariq goes to meet with Davis, and they decide they can't use Paula. So Davis wants to put Yasmin on the stand. And Tariq doesn't want to do that because he doesn't want to further traumatize his already traumatized, orphaned, abused little sister. Okay? Because grandma abused her. The parents abandoned her. Like, in what world does Tasha not take her daughter into witness protection? Like, that doesn't even make sense. Okay, Courtney? But I'm going to let it go. Okay? I'm going to let it go, Courtney. They put Jasmine on a stand. Not really, but they bring her in to talk to the lawyers to see if she can be put on a stand to answer whether Tariq was at his grandmother's house the night of Jabari's murder or not. And we all know that nigga did that shit. So he absolutely doesn't want to have his little sister get on the stand and lie for him. Okay? So as soon as she starts to show a crack in the surface, he's like, no, let it go. She's not doing it. It's not happening. Let it go. It's over. You know what I mean? And then we got Everett and Drew up in the dorm rooms, cutting nasty and shit. And then here come dumbass Detective Kevin asking questions about Everett's original statement to the police about when Zeke got shot when they were down to the club. Y'all remember that? Well, Everett says he doesn't have anything to add or anything to say, and dumbass Detective Kevin leaves his card behind. Drew comes out of the bathroom from where he was hiding and says that he'll be back. And dumbass Detective Kevin, who isn't that dumb, noticed the clothes on the floor. But in real life, nigga, why would you assume that that was somebody else's clothes and not just a messy ass college student who has all his clothes on the floor. Just saying. Anyway, Dante / Mecca decides he's going to roll up on Zeke at the playground because he thought that it would behoove him to introduce himself to his son who does not know he's his son. And he shows him a tattoo that he has on his arm. And the tattoo is a verse from the book of Ezekiel, which makes Zeke believe that he could possibly be telling the truth about being his father. So he tells him to go ask his mother. And I'm like, does Dante know that she doesn't know? Like, I don't know. I'm confused. I almost feel like I'm wondering, does Dante know that Zeke doesn't know that Monet is his mother? But either way, Zeke wants to go and ask the woman he believes is his mother. He wants to go and ask her about the situation, right? Zeke ended up missing his meeting with the agent. So Monet comes home pissed off, like, where the fuck were you? And he's packing a bag. And she's like, you got a game. What the fuck is going on? You know, and he's like, listen, auntie. Okay, this man came to the basketball court and said he was my daddy. He had this tattoo. And look, this ain't got nothing to do with you. I got to go ask my mom something, you know. And she like, sit the fuck down, Zeke. I'm like, why you got to be like, you know, talking to the men like, why can't we talking to him like that? Talking about sit the fuck down, Zeke. I'm thinking she finally gonna be honest with the young man. Oh no, she tells him that his daddy is in prison for life. I said, bitch, that does not answer any of the questions that we have here. That made me so mad with her. So y'all, then we got the dean wanting to replace Professor Zoe. There's a dinner, a dinner for donors for Jabari Reynolds and all of that. He died, so we're gonna have a dinner so that y'all can come here and give us some more money. So the dean wants to replace Professor Zoe from being the speaker because everybody is whispering and talking online about how she was fucking Jabari and she was fucking Zeke and, you know, all of that. She was just listening to it on Twitter. You know, that's what they look like. Before he came in and said that to her. Tate wanted to go to the dinner, but she was like, well, you didn't know him, so you don't need to go. It's like a lot of them people didn't know him and they're going to be there. What the fuck is you talking about, girl? But either way, Tate stayed by the door and heard the conversation with the dean and then burst in and defended her and says that it was anti-feminist and they might as well put a red scarlet letter on her chest, you know, by pulling her from the speaking engagement just because of these rumors about her sex life, right? So the dean goes against his better judgment and agrees to allow her to still speak. And she, in return, brings Tate with her, okay? Or at least gives him the invitation. So Tariq meets with Tamika, y'all. Y'all know she don't like people playing on her phone. So Tamika meets with him and he basically tells her everything about what happened, okay? Tamika wants him to take a deal and do 5 years just so he can, you know, get past this and not turn into a monster like his dad. Tamika is trying to save Tariq because she remembers that Tariq really was a kid put in this situation. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, yeah, Tariq killed a cop, but Tariq killed a cop who was trying to kill him and who killed his sister. It's kind of fair game. Okay, I'm sorry. It's kind of how we feel about it. We're not gonna feel that bad about the cop that was out here killing kids and shit. Okay, just saying. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Okay, they were on Clubhouse. They could have been on Clubhouse, or they could have been on that thing that's on Twitter that is a replica of Clubhouse. That's why I said Twitter. But you know, yeah, Clubhouse, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas always want to be correcting somebody like it matters. Like, you know, oh no, it was Clubhouse. Do it matter, Jamal? You know it don't matter. Anyway, y'all always want to correct somebody. Sitting up here doing all this. Anyway, where was I in my notes? Interrupting me. Okay. Yeah. Tamika wants Tariq to take a deal and do 5 years, but Tariq knows if he snitches, they'll probably kill Yasmin and his grandma too. All right. Then we see Mecca / Dante and Bobby Brown meet up with Lorenzo and Drew. It was just supposed to be Lorenzo, and Bobby Brown is talking about Drew got to wait downstairs. And it's like, nigga, ain't nobody going downstairs, okay? And then they basically make an agreement for Dante to sell all of his drugs to Drew and Lorenzo. And he's doing this to fuck over Monet because Monet and Bobby Brown were supposed to be sneaking some drugs to Tariq down to the campus. Okay, everybody's money was kind of hanging in the balance on them making that money on the side. Okay, but now that Dante has decided to sell all of his drugs to Lorenzo, that means Bobby Brown isn't getting any money to make sure that he stays out of jail, and it also means that Tariq may not be getting any money to make sure he stays out of jail. So that is giving a few more people a reason to kill Lorenzo. Just saying. Just want to point that out. My bad, Bondi. I was talking to somebody in the chat. It still don't matter though. That's what you say now. That's what you say now. I'm not really upset. I'm being facetious. But y'all know y'all be egging me sometimes when y'all be correcting me on stuff that doesn't matter to the story. But I do understand. Not really upset. So don't feel hurt. Y'all know I be playing and sometimes y'all be getting y'all feelings. I'm sorry. Thank you to Be Black Native for becoming a member. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you so much, love. I wish I had some up in this bitch. Okay. Well, that works too. But yes. Lorenzo doesn't even have the manpower he needs to move all of that weight. And Dante was like, oh, I'll give you some of my men for a small fee. It's like, damn, you really trying to fuck over Monet, ain't you? Try to fuck over something bad. So y'all, Jabari's dinner. Professor Zoe tries to warn Lauren that Tariq is a murdering drug dealer. But she isn't trying to hear it. Okay, she says decisions were made for Tariq, and you would think that Professor Zoe would understand that. Okay, but she's a slut ass bitch. Okay, so the Wesleys are there, and the youngest son, I'm sorry, not the youngest son. Who the hell is Brayton's brother's name? I don't even care. I can't stand Brayton's brother. His punk ass is there complaining about having to be there for Jabbery. I'm like, really? You Jabbery? Is that how that sounds to you? I'm going to start mispronouncing white people's very common, boring ass names. Okay, what is that? Tyam? What is that? Tyam? What is that? Jayam? What is that? What is that? Jim. Oh, okay. The fuck? Anyway, because he pronounced it wrong. Trey. What is it? Treyach? Is that Treyach? What is that? Trakey? Is your name Trakey? Oh, Trace. Oh, okay. Thank you. Got that. All right, bitch ass. Anyway, I'm sorry. He works on my nerves. Tate comes over and basically says, hey, how you doing? How you doing, Elder Wesley, nigga? How you doing? Listen, I wanted to give you a heads up because, I found something that will put your homeboy Sweeney in a compromising position. So if you can convince him to step down from office, then I won't have to put out this picture that's going to embarrass everybody. And so he says, that's my really good friend, the Elder Wesley. He's big in his britches right now. He's all big in the chest. I don't take to blackmail kindly. Well, guess what? Tate comes back with, but you do take blackface. And then walks off. Motherfucker. Yeah, he's racist. We all know it. To me, it's very weird how much white and the white adjacent spend so much time obsessing about black people. Like that shit that's going on with Jenny from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Y'all know I'm gonna talk about it, but not in this video. But y'all know what's going on with her and all of her racist comments and posts about Black Lives Matter and George Floyd. And it's just like, you're obsessed. You're really obsessed with us. Like, this literally, if it has nothing to do with you, then let it have nothing to do with you. But it's just so funny to me when Asian people decide to be racist so that they can prove that they're so close to white people, so they can, make sure that they don't get mixed up in being treated the way we get treated. So they have to be extra mean to us so white people will know they're down. They like to do that. Them, the Latinas, y'all all like to do that. And it's hilarious to me. Because y'all wouldn't be here if Black people hadn't fought for the civil rights movement to happen. Because the exact laws that were put in place that Martin Luther King had to die for, that Black people had to get abused in the streets for, that we still have to go through all of this for because they still don't treat us right. But those laws that our ancestors fought for 40 years ago are the reason why your swamp ass is here in America and not sweating out your edges in Vietnam. So, yeah. Suck a dick. Do that for all of us. Thank you so much. Braden saw the interaction between his racist dad and Tate, and he's like, fuck, whatever. Professor Zoe and Lauren are still having their interaction. Big Bang Bisha comes over with the titties, and they go up there to give a speech. They give a lackadaisical announcing of Professor Zoe. Professor Zoe gets up there and everybody's talking about her fucking Jabari and her fucking Zeke. It's whispers all over the place. It's embarrassing as fuck. She says, I can't do it. She runs off. I'm sorry, y'all. I have been cursing up a storm in this video. I apologize. I know a lot of y'all can't stand it, but I, for some reason, don't have the bandwidth to control it as much as I normally do. I'm trying. Okay. So Tate follows her and tells her, no, it's bad. Because she was like, I know you're going to tell me it's not bad. And he was like, no, it's bad. It's so bad, but it's not the end, Carrie. Okay, the reason why I wanted to come to this dinner tonight is so that I can corner an alum so I can save my political career. And she asked, did it work? And he says, that's the fun thing about politics. The story's never over. So if you're anything like me, you'll find a way to make it. You know what I'm saying? I was here for that. And I'm wondering if eventually Professor Zoe is going to fuck Tate. I do want to see it. So Lauren goes to Tariq to apologize when Diana walks up. And he's like, no, Diana, come in. Okay. And basically tells Lauren that his lawyer said that he shouldn't be speaking to her and closes the door in her face, and then proceeds to talk to Diana about what's going on with Lorenzo and Monet, and then they hunch or they kiss. I don't know. Okay. I appreciate you, Saki. Okay. But I don't know if they hunched or made out, but Tariq's a slut. I'm tired of him. Okay. Can you please pick a bitch? Or at least let the bitches know that you're not picking them, okay? Because it seems like the bitches don't know that they're not being picked once y'all are in this room hunching and shit. Oh, that's good. Thank you. Yeah, it's really good. Anyway, moving on from there. So Bobby Brown is acting like an asshole to Drew, right? And Drew is like, man, what the fuck is wrong with you? Okay, we all know that Bobby Brown is jealous of Drew because Lorenzo sees him as the second instead of his eldest son, which is Bobby Brown. Okay. So Drew tells him that he's just a guard dog with a new master. And he's like, man, what the fuck you talking about? And he's like, so how did Ramirez's badge get in Tariq's room? Like, basically, I know somebody told you to do that shit. And it was Dante. Okay. Bobby Brown says, where you get that from? Your snitching ass boyfriend? And then Drew gets mad because you can't be talking about his boyfriend. Okay. And then they start fighting and shit. And Lorenzo comes in and breaks it up. And Bobby Brown is like, oh, we fighting over Drew's snitch ass boyfriend. And he's like, is this true? Is your boyfriend a fucking snitch? Okay. We got to get this under control. All right. So he attempts to go and kill Everett. And then Everett texts him and tells him he misses him. And he changes his mind. It's like, Drew, you have a hard time killing people in general. You a snake, don't get me wrong. We've seen the way Drew get down. Drew can beat you to death with his bare hands. Click the fuck out, be gone, okay? But I feel like in the long run, my dude, it would eat you up if you killed Everett. Do not kill Everett. Break up with Everett. Stop fucking with him. Do not kill him, okay? That's just not smart. Or keep fucking with him so you can keep your thumb on him and know what's going on at all times. If you giving him the dick and he all in love with you, that'll make him not want to tell the police. Or at least if he does, give you the heads up. Don't kill him. That's not smart. Okay? You're getting rid of a witness that we know is a witness. The cops just came to his room asking about his testimony, and then he ends up dead. They're gonna draw that back to somebody, bro. Like, y'all got to stop thinking that killing everybody is the answer, because it's not. It's not in this situation, okay? But anyway, Lorenzo, hold on, no. Bobby Brown tells Monet. He meets with Monet in private and tells her that Dante killed their side hustle with Tariq, and he's giving all of his drugs to Drew and Lorenzo. And that money was to pay Davis to keep Bobby Brown's ass out of jail. Davis and the prosecutor question Yasmin. I told y'all about this. She gets confused, so Tariq said no. And after Tamika convinces Sachs that Tariq wants to be better, he doesn't want to be like his father. And the fact that this has to even be like explained to Sachs, like Sachs hasn't done terrible things as well. Like, it's aggravating as fuck that people have this like superiority complex when at the end of the day, you're just as grimy, if not more. Okay. So shut the fuck up. All right. Shut the fuck up. All right. So, after Tamika convinces Saxe that Tariq wants to be better and they need to keep him from becoming a monster like James was, okay? Because as y'all may have forgotten, because of all of the fucking scenes, James was a serial killer. In case y'all didn't know, like literally went around killing people, serial killer. Okay, he didn't kill them for no reason, but he absolutely killed several people in serial killer like form, meaning he did it himself. He didn't get somebody else to do it. He didn't have a syndicate. He didn't send a do dirt nigga. No, he dressed in all black, all on his own, went and snuck through your window and strangled you with his bare hands. What the fuck are we talking about? He's a serial killer, okay? And they don't want Tariq to be a serial killer, all right? They want Tariq to be a snitch. That's not going to work either, okay? So Bobby Brown, stupid ass, is waiting in Davis's car with a gun. Davis knows what it is and tells him that Tariq had an opportunity to flip on him, but he didn't. He didn't flip. But if he goes down for this, he will. And that just draws us right back to Bobby Brown being the fucking idiot in this situation by planting that badge on Tariq. Because if he had not planted the badge on Tariq, they would not have been able to link Tariq to this. Therefore, they wouldn't have had any more leads to go further into this situation. Even if Tariq was selling drugs on campus, that doesn't mean he killed anybody, and they couldn't prove that he was selling the drugs because he had set it up in a way that there was no real way to prove that he was selling the drugs because nobody knew, because they were doing it through course correct. So nobody had actually encountered him. Nobody knows that Tariq is a drug dealer on campus except for Braden. He's the only person that knows that. And maybe Trace's stupid ass, okay? But it won't get there. It won't make it to Trace. He's a white boy. Nobody's going to call him in for questioning if they don't absolutely have to or have evidence that he's in some way involved. They're not. They have to be sure before they call in Trace to ask him anything. So he's not going to be asked about finding drugs in their, room that one time and all of that. Because I mean, if they did, then they would definitely be able to trace, the drugs back to Braden and to Tariq, because they were both staying in a room when Trace found their drugs and, did them all. So yeah, there's that. So also he thought that he didn't know who he was, but Davis told Bobby Brown he knew it was him before he pulled off. So when Monet gets home, Lorenzo has a romantic night planned for them. But first, he wants to know if she's still working with Tariq. And she says no, she shut it all down just the way he wanted. And then it looks like they were going to hunch, but we didn't get a lot of that. Y'all, I think maybe Mary used to like men in the 90s. But a lot of those niggas are either not in good shape, dead, or married already. So I don't know what niggas there are out there of Mary's caliber for her to be with. But something feels like Mary is way more affectionate with whatever bitch she's fucking with. But anyway, Lorenzo and Mecca's crew kill the rest of Keno's organization, if I'm to be sure. They snuck in on them, killed everybody, killed the whole organization. I was like, God damn. Saxe, Tamika, and the prosecutor that Saxe is fucking, I always forget her name, offered Tariq a deal. And he says he can't snitch. And the prosecutor, she really pissed me off because she's like, this is ridiculous. Like, he's so stupid and he's so ridiculous because he won't take a deal that will end in not only him being murdered in jail, because they're going to shiv him when they're walking down the hallway. There's no way he's going to not get shivved in prison if he snitches. The Tejadas are going to have him killed if he says something. I mean, they'll make sure Bobby Brown gets put in the same jail so he can kill Tariq himself. Like, there's no way he's going to make it out of that situation alive. Fuck talking about your family. He won't make it out of that situation alive. Okay. And yeah, they might still kill Yasmin and grandma. Okay. So ultimately, that is not a good decision. And we know in the past that when James snitched on 50 Cent, okay, that's the type of shit he was on. And Tariq is trying to be better than his daddy. So he denies, he denies. He says no. Okay. He says, no, thank you. All right. They get upset. And Tamika says,
"You're very welcome."
Tamika says, I wish you good luck. Don't call me again. Okay. So fine. There's that. Sax goes down to the bar and David says, so you went behind my back and tried to get Tariq to make a deal. He was like, well, he didn't make the deal, so it doesn't even matter. So then David is like, okay, moving on to the next thing. We need to find out what Lauren's testimony is and find out who her handler is. So they look at the paperwork and find out that Lauren's handler at the police station was Professor Zoe. And y'all know Davis used to fuck Professor Zoe. So he goes to her apartment, okay, and basically says, so I found out that you are now connected to at least 4 people on this case. And she was like, nigga, how dare you try to slut shame me? Where your wedding ring at? How's your wife? Like, get the fuck out of here. Y'all, when are we going to meet Davis's wife? Like, I really want to see what woman Davis is married to that he keeps cheating on like this with all of these very bad bitches. So yeah, Davis says, listen, no matter what, my client is going to go free. All right. Even if I have to destroy Lil Lauren in the courtroom, just know this. And then we see Tariq meet with Bobby Brown. And Bobby Brown tells him, hey, nigga, no more product. So you're going to have to figure out another way to make this money. And there's other ways. And it sounded bad when he said it. But either way, there are other ways to make this bread. And we're going to see that they're probably going to try to kill and rob some people for this bread. And I'm like, wrong road, Tariq. Wrong road. I feel a way about them killing the hoes. They just here to suck and fuck for a buck. Why are we killing them? They just honest hoes. Well, because honest hoes will say anything to the police to get off. If a hoe get hemmed up and she tells a detective that wants to put her in jail for a year that, oh, I got some information on this shit that happened like 3 months ago with these niggas, then what happens? No loose ends. I'm sorry. That's just that's just the luck of the draw. No loose ends. Y'all see my shit, huh? Y'all see my shit, huh? Hold up, let me see. Hold up. Let me go to my face. Where my face at? Face ass. It's doing a what you call them? No, it's doing a weather thing. Why it don't be working when I want it to? It's, you know why? Because it don't work the way my other watch work. And so I'm always like, pressing it and doing shit that it's not supposed to necessarily do because I don't really know how to work it that well yet. There you go. Here I go. Y'all see me? Y'all see my little I'm trying to get my wrist right, y'all. It's hard to get your wrist right like that. Y'all see it though? Up, am I going to sleep? Am I going to sleep? Up, am I going to sleep? Up, and I'm out. Okay. Y'all saw me? Cute as fuck, right? I'm obsessed. Okay. So yeah, no loose ends. Hoes gotta go. Damn, can't even sell poom poom to the niggas with big pockets because you might get killed. I mean, listen. That's why the girls be down to the docks. That's why the girls be, with the businessmen and shit that do coke and all of that and just be trying to look for some strange before they go home. Y'all like it? It's cute. She look like me. It's cute. I wish Kanan was alive. I always thought we was going to find out he was really Tyreek's pappy because he was hunching Tasha back in the day. Child, no. That was never going to be how it all went down. No, we didn't need that. It needed to be Ghost Son. But anyway, y'all, that's all I got. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I appreciate y'all so much for coming through today. I'm going to try to come to y'all tomorrow for a BondyBlue show as well as the next scripted TV show. And don't forget that the Ooh Ladies First panel is on Jamie That's Me's channel this week. So y'all come and see us at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. Y'all make sure y'all keep our girl Jay Lee in y'all prayers because she is going through it right now, but she's gonna be all right. So y'all make sure y'all, pray. Is that a smartwatch? This is an Apple Watch. So yeah, thank you for the super chat. But yeah, y'all, love y'all. Have a good day. Bye.